Expector Gadget. Bro, why is Expector Gadget theme song in my head right now? That's the remix I need to make. Expector Gadget. We inspected this motherfucking blockchain today. My girl looking at me like I'm motherfucking crazy. Expector Gadget. Hoo hoo. What up, y'all? What up, Tekken? What up, Lita in the house? B.I. Well, it's just B.I. B.I. What up, Pedro? Bud Green, aka Zenza Washington. What's up, y'all? How's it going? Mid afternoon or early afternoon, late morning here in New York City. Wherever you are in the world, I hope it's nice and relaxing. Currently on the screen right now is just a voice on my whack ass YouTube. Nah, shout outs to everybody on X. We stream it on X too as well. Switching up the cadence a little bit. Usually I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? This your boy Crypto Bruh, aka More World Peace the DJ / producer. Today is January 30th, 2024, Tuesday. Fuck all that shit. What up, y'all? What up? Let's just jump into it, man. I've been chilling all morning, doing my due diligence. I don't know what you guys do. The first thing I do when I wake up is I breathe. I breathe, I stretch, chill for a little bit. I don't actually look at prices until I feel. Actually, lately I haven't even been looking at prices. Really, I look at prices for laughs nowadays. Like I go to a chart to say, I knew that was gonna happen when I woke up. I'm in the right world. I envisioned this when I went to sleep. So yeah, charts are hilarious. But yeah, I woke up this morning. I was feeling good, hanging out. So I was like, let me go do my due diligence and see what's going on. And then what happened was like, yo, if you don't yet have it, you're gonna need to get it. The X1 validator knowledge group, there's only 847 or 74 members in here. So what's cool about the separation of all the Zen chats, like how we have XENblocks, we have the Zen price. Also, there's a community one. I mean, we don't chat too often, but there's Zen World. I created this one, and shout outs Tree City West for helping me hold it down as a mod in this chat. So it's more of a community chat with all of the blockchains here. This was invented before we kind of knew where we were going, right? We just felt like we needed an area to just chat about Zen and not have a lot of riffraff, I guess you can say, in between our conversation. So over here we got 358 members, even more concentrated Zenians. In the price chat, 6,056 members. And then in the Zen crypto chat, 18. Actually, this is can you see that? Okay. This is the number. Look at it, it's showing up again, guys. There's another 1808. 18,008 members just for us, just for the stream, for some numerology. But yeah, so like everything is going pretty well. But again, if you're looking at these numbers, oh yeah, even the X1 chat that we had to bring back because straight frauds decided to delete the original one and then make a new fake one. So that's kind of why the X1 blockchain doesn't get too much love. If you're over there, you might need to reevaluate your telegrams because again, this was just recreated so there was no confusion, right? Again, somebody hijacked the name. I'm not going to say their name because they're not worth the time, but you can probably think about who it is. They hijacked it because it got canceled as an admin. So you really know who it is now. And then they deleted the old X1 and created a new one and tried to psyop motherfuckers into thinking that that was the right one. But again, that's the only reason why this one doesn't get much love. You don't really see Jack over here talking. It literally just exists as a placemat. Now, most of the X1 blockchain talk is actually happening in the validator group. And the reason for this is because what the fuck? The reason for this is I guess Jack posted this because somebody asked, what if there was a max cap on the amount of XN at one node can stake? That's actually pretty funny because, yeah, you shouldn't have to have a max cap. You should be able to stake as much XN as you want. And yeah, the reason why, again, you want to be in this group is because when updates are pushed or when new information is discovered, this is where we're all talking about it. This is where we're all, as those who care, right? There's a lot of people who do not care. So if you're intrigued by the Zen network and you are saying to yourself, man, I really wish I can jump on board with everyone having a party with the proof of work side of Zen, right? So Zen is proof of stake. I mean, it's proof of participation. Actually, you can go to this doc. So it's docs.zen.network, and it will tell you what Zen is. And it's, you know, it's designed to be a community building social through social mining, right? So Zen crypto is a hybrid consensus mechanism. So if you don't know what the consensus mechanism is in blockchain, this is the agreement amongst the users. All right. So like in Bitcoin, all the users agree to computer power to basically harvest all of the activity, right? Activity doesn't just fucking have it, you know? And that's why I like the word harvest, because it's like, yo, after you farm, somebody gotta go out there and grab the motherfucking tomatoes. I gotta harvest them bitches, you know? So the consensus is what we are all saying, okay, this is what harvests the network. This is what brings it to life. This is what we all are going to accept as our principle of consensus, right? And in Zen, we use what's called proof of participation. Proof of participation is different from traditional proof of stakes and proof of work systems. And this is because with Zen, again, it's based on time. So in order for you to get an advantage in Zen, you need to do the max amount of time. Right now we're looking at Avalanche. Zen is on, again, 12 different EVMs in the EVM world. So it's an ERC20. It lives over there. It lives in that specific zone. And again, that's why it's a separated idea from XENM, which is our proof of work coin. And today's discussion is about why proof of work is 10,000x better than proof of stake. And yeah, just to give the basis, like this is a pretty proof of stake concept, but again, it's based on proof of participation, and that's based on how long can you wait to get your coins, right? Now the distribution model is over an 8-year period in Zen. So the reason why it's proof of participation, because after 8 years, essentially all the inflation is done, right? In 8 year time, well, we're creep now. We're literally in the 7 year now. So this AMP, this right here, let's blow this up a little bit. Let's learn about Zen. We know about Zen, but let's take it back to the roots. So this AMP, this is a representation of days, right? So when this first started, when Zen first started, it had a max AMP of 3,000 days. And that's why if you hear in the Zen world, people say, oh, this is an 8-year ride, because 8 years, 3,000 days, 8 years. Right now, as you can see, we've knocked almost 500 days. We're 28 days away from the first 500 days of Zen. Wow, amazing. And this AMP, again, is what you want to maximize. So every day it lessens itself, right? In 28 days, it'll be 2,500. So everybody who's been mining up until 2,500, they kind of secured their participation, right? And that's why you want to prove you've been participating by max minting. Max minting is taking advantage of the max terms. Now you can make a stake or a mint, right? And you don't have to do the max. You could totally do 10 days. You could do 30 days, right? But majority of the community here today, they're focused on max minting. And again, participating in the network to its full maximum, not skipping a beat. All right. But that proof of participation is the core of Zen crypto. But it's an unfortunate thing that Zen crypto is attached to 13 different blockchains. Right? And that's kind of why, again, we need X1 chain so we can actually see what Zen can do. I don't think Zen is in its final form on any of the other chains. I am 100% sold that every single chain that you see here is a test net for what's to come on X1 chain. And the reason for that is because all of these chains, again, they're not built for mass adoption. They're built to help Ethereum, right? ETH is the mass adoption tool. Everything else is just a spawn of Ethereum. All right. And we've broken this down. There's one on here, though, that is special. And the reason why we forked it is because of how special it is. And we can see it in the global ranks. So you could see that Polygon and Zen in the very beginning when X1 chain was getting ready to drop, we forked Polygon because Polygon has a very, I would say after more and more research, Polygon just has a great supporting cast for their SDK. So if you have an issue with the blockchain, there's going to be people to reach out to. And that's essential, right? You need to have customer service in a foreign technology environment, and that's blockchain. Now, that's not the best idea. You shouldn't, be relying on someone else to fix your chain. You should be able to fix it yourself. So that's, again, why we pivoted from DevNet, which is on Polygon, to Fastnet, which is on Phantom, because Phantom has a better data structure system, which is utilizing a DAG, a directed. I can't just go look up the word DAG because the A word always messes up in my American English. But it's just a better form of data structure so that blocks can be found, or information can be found faster, and blocks can confirm faster. So Phantom did it right. Everything else outside of Phantom is using the Nakamoto consensus for basically, well, so some of these are using really like Patricia trees. I've started to learn a lot of these things are the same in data, but what they lack and why we chose Phantom is Phantom can handle load, especially on their development side. So I think that's really what the test was for the EVMs. It was not necessarily to see which one can we take. It was more of out of all of these EVMs that are clones of Ethereum, which one actually has the backbone to support mass adoption, right? Versus the ones that have just been created for low gas. That's the easy sell. We're better than ETH. We have lower gas. We have lower gas. We have lower gas. We have lower gas, and so on, right? I mean, granted, proof of work Ethereum has lower gas because there ain't nobody on that motherfucker. Yeah. So we know that that's a narrative, but that didn't solve the problem of onboarding and scaling, right? XeNFTs hit every single one of these chains, and that was such an awesome thing to be a part of because, yeah, you really got to see what chains were able to handle the amount of traffic. And then now that we're in the future, we get to see what chains actually, where Zen rules the chain. So what's cool about this is, I believe here, if we go to tokens, I think Zen Crypto is Phantom. We got to double check it. But yeah, if we go up here, we go to tokens. Reveal all hands are on deck. What up, Rolando? What up, Dank? Good morning, fellas. I'm inscripting gooses on Pulsecane. How those gooses looking? Moonbeam DXN, says Brian. Booyah. He's going to sell his X1 for a PS7. Don't do it for the PS5. It's kind of crazy. PS5 $200 now, man. It's damn, I thought the technology was hitting. It was worth $200. How many XENblocks can I mine with my PlayStation 5 at $200, bro? But here, let's see something here. Holders. How do I see that we are the shit? Cause I'm the shit up in this bench. Yeah, I'm the shit. See, I can never see it. Okay, so number 16 here. But what about us makes us the best? I always see people posting about it. I'm like, I wanna post about it too, man. So number 16 in token holders on Phantom. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong place. I should be looking at token transfers. That's why. I'm looking at the token tracker as in like holders. Oh yeah, see, as soon as you open this up, who the fuck is over here? First one. The only people the only people over here. And that's kind of what I was trying to express just right now, but I got lost in the sauce. Yeah, when you look at who's actually using Phantom, it's a bunch of Xenians. So Phantom itself is an amazing blockchain, but I do think personally Phantom lacks a good marketing strategy. And now that we've chosen, and this is what I mean by this, like, it's not that they suck at marketing, it's just that whatever they did, they couldn't go to the next level. And I saw that happen with Avalanche. Avalanche, unfortunately, could not go to the next level. Their next level event was inscriptions. And when Emin said, I don't like those, that shit instantly, they lost the gate. That was the gate. That was the only gate they had. Because again, they're waiting. Avalanche is waiting for success after its YouTube pump. And that's the problem with all these coins. Again, Zen is the shit because we don't have that. But we don't have the YouTube pump. Most YouTubers are shitting on Zen. It's just me and Tree City West that's left, and a couple others out there. Shout outs, I think Dioshlamby still posting shit in German and in English. And then who else we got out there? Crickets. Oh, top token senders by Unique. There we go. Pedro says, nah, man, flex on them. So go to top tokens. Top tokens senders by Unique. Where's that at? I do not have that up here. I don't know. I guess I don't know how to look at that part. Top token senders by top accounts, pending transactions, view blocks. Yeah, I'm not actually sure, but I guess Pedro just posted how you can find that shit. But I know, yeah, but I could just hit the transfers, the token transfers, and I can see exactly what's going on. Here, let's look, and you can probably look in a block too and see what's going on too. Do they have that going on here? No, this is just something else. 7 transactions. Where are you at? Oh, some transfers, some bridges. Okay, we're not in here. Let me stop being conceited. I'm like, and we're in every single block. Nah. Let me not be conceited. But yeah, so like here, let's go to YouTube real quick, and then let's go and type in Phantom. Let's see what pop up. Oh shit, Gematria community letting you know. Huge pump will happen. Here we go. 6 months ago, our guy Jerry gives it 4 stars. Phantom is an EVM layer 1 crypto with big potential, but can it keep up? Honest altcoin review. Phantom is about to shock the world. What is up next for Phantom? Phantom technical analysis. Should I buy Phantom? Sorry. See what I mean? Like this is what I'm saying. Like Phantom might have the best tech. They might have a good team, but when you look at them from a research standpoint, if I wanted to say from my point of view of what is crypto, right? And in crypto being a subliminal message, because that's really what it is. It's always going to be a protest. Cryptocurrencies are protest against reality, because in reality, people want to tell you Phantom still have potential, but in crypto, you go and use the chain, and the chain tells you how much potential it has, right? So it's really on the user to perceive crypto in the right interpretation, and that's why I fucking exist, man. So I can make sure I remind you people, users control the chain, and that's why Zen is so powerful, because we make the chain. Without our transactions, without us understanding, right? That's why it's important to comprehend. It's important to understand what max terms are, what AMP is, what EAA is, right? There's white papers out there to learn this stuff. I wish more people read them. Actually, my favorite, because now we're coming up on page 11. So if you haven't read the white paper of Zen, you're still very behind. And we're coming up on page 11. It's gonna show up faster than people are expecting it to. And if you don't know what page 11 is, I might sound like I'm preaching, but it's all here. I mean, that's what this whole channel's been about. We're going on almost 1 year of streaming every single day about Zen World and doing research based on positive outcomes for fair crypto. Like how is this positive for fairness, regardless of how much money you're making? How much fairness is in this? Because I think that's the real value. I actually think following non-value attributes is one of the most time-wasting things you could do. It's like if your plant's not growing and you be putting it in the same soil and you don't take the time to understand why you've got shitty soil, but you just keep blaming the plant. These plants don't grow here. It's like, duh, bro, your soil's trash. Like, go do some research about your soil. Like, I just want to make money off these motherfucking tomatoes, though. You know? So my value will always be and it will always be rooted, right, in that fairness. And fairness is disrupting. That at the root of fair is it's disruptive, because nothing in life is fair. So when it's fair, it goes, hey, how's that fair for you? Is it fair for me? It really brings that human's behavior down to almost a humble state when you start talking about fairness. I have a funny story about fairness, because right before Zen launched, my mom was trying to drill that into my head that life ain't fair. And I mean, like she was, because we were having like a debate about the word fair and how like it really is a conundrum type word. Like there is no such thing as fairness, because what's fair to you is not fair to someone else. So yeah, the fair at the root, at that vibration, the root is disrupt. If it's going to disrupt, people are going to wonder why, because now someone's getting an unfair advantage. Now it's not fair no more. Hold on. Right? And then when someone accuses something to be fair, right? Now it's put it under the microscope. How fair is it? You're saying you're fair. How fair are you actually? Because there's always going to be opportunity in fairness, man. That's my one thing I got to say. There will always be opportunity in fairness. Life ain't fair, but it's disruptive, right? That's where the fairness lives. It lives in that disrupt. It lives in that chaos. And again, you can almost say like anything you get into when people are questioning how fair it is, that's why you can get in and get out, right? Like right now, people are questioning whether or not Bitcoin's, how fair is it for Bitcoin to keep going, right? Should I take profit? Right? Should I be the one who think this is a fair price? I won't lie. I took some profit this morning. Shit, I sent some BTC from my Ordinals wallet to Coinbase to cash out today, because fuck it. I want to store some value in dollars, right? Also, I'm in a good position in crypto right now. So if I'm feeling good to sell, I might as well do it now before everybody shows the fuck up. That's the problem with selling. You'll never be able to sell if you sell with everybody else. All right. And you'll see it happening like this. So that 52 Gwei is letting us know, yo, the market's probably getting ready to pull back. People are setting up stop orders, basically limit orders. Right. And that's so that as it falls, they can cash out. If it goes up, they're still in the race. So I am 100% again. I've been talking about this for about a week now, since last week. I was saying, be prepared to see like Bitcoin try 44. We got really close right here. We got $43,854. And then we had a significant pullback to this particular range. So that was it right there. That's what we were talking about last week. Like, yo, this week you might be able to catch that pop, but it's unlikely. And we've seen how it played out with the drone attack on America. Who in the fuck? That was the biggest sell signal of them all, because it was like, damn. Now this week we're gonna go into this conversation of like, well, what is America's gonna do now that technically a base has been hit and soldiers have been killed? And I've seen that there's been a political this stuff is getting really deep right now, because I mean, you can see it from the way, you know, politics rule the mainstream. So if people think we're going to war, you know, then we go to war. You know, it's not like me being a peacekeeper is gonna go and stop the government from going to war, bro. If they're going to war, they're going to war. They've been provoked, they're going to war, you know. So that plays a big role in our finances right now, because it takes a second, you know, for war to blow over, right? And that's what we've all been waiting for. We've been waiting to hear, is the war gonna reach American attention? Like, we know America's there, but the unfortunate event has now occurred. So now the tables turn, right? You go and look at the dollar, and the dollar's looking extremely positive. And this is something I've been talking about on my channel now for almost 4 months, man. And if you haven't started to apply this to your theory, I don't know how to save you. But yeah, Bitcoin's a risk-off asset. The Dixie is the dollar, and when the world tends to move, the dollar moves with it. And a lot of people would say, like, wars move the dollar, and I'm 100% sold on that as well, man. Wars do move dollars, man, because people know that we're gonna spend a lot of money to fund the war. So it gives the dollar the ability to capture some of that inflation. Like, think of it that way too. Like, the dollar is constantly inflating. When a war is introduced, it's like a big ass Zen burn, but for fucking guns and tanks. R.I.P. man, that shit is fucking crazy. But yeah, that's kind of what my impression is right now, is that like a lot of dollars are getting ready to get accumulated and spent in the form of energy and food, and then, you know, inflation starts up again, and we're back to square one. So I'm still hedging with Bitcoin, regardless if this turns into a motherfucking World War III for the next 7 years. I honestly still think Bitcoin is going to come out ahead. We're just in that awkward stage of realization, right? That disbelief, like, damn, this is really getting ready to happen. And that disbelief is going to be in favor to the ones that are absorbing the energy. So the US dollar is absorbing that disbelief. Like, I was in disbelief when Biden said something about Israel. I was like, oh shit, I'm in a total disbelief. Like, regardless of my political feeling right now, this is a cue to a financial person, as I might need to start preparing what the fuck I'm going to do with my finances. Because that was a flag, right? And we're now 3 days into the next red flag. What are you still doing? Are you still twiddling your thumbs? Curious, right? Or are you starting to realize innovation is getting ready to take over? So let's get back to some happy shit, right? Talking about war and all that other shit. That shit is sad. Wah, wah, wah. But what I do know right now, here, let's go to X. So what do you call it? The title, right? I was trying to get into it. Why proof of stake, or why proof of work is better than proof of stake. Okay. So again, Zen has a lot of things to learn about. It's not like something you're just going to pick up and go, unless you're ready to understand. And, you know, like me personally, I have educational ideas to teach people how to use Zen, but currently I need some funding so I can get there. And we're not there just yet. We're not there to where everybody comprehends it naturally. And that is because it's in a barrier. Zen is in a barrier, man. It's going to be so hard to teach this until it's on our network, which is X1 chain. Because whenever I teach Zen to someone else, I always have to evolve one of these other EVMs. And this can get sketchy, because it's like a football game. Like, what team are you rooting for? You know, basketball, what team you're rooting for? You know? So that team rooting for aspect is always going to create friction in the greater scheme of comprehension. So again, this is why I like Zen as a brand, because it's singular, or it brings singularity to the overall narrative of 1, open source, 2, mass adoption, 3, education. So it's got all the good things to bring people in, right? Mass adoption, teach people, right? It's gonna literally teach you the ins and outs of a blockchain. And then the third one that I already forgot because I want to move on. But yeah, so yeah, Zen is all that. It's but again, the proof of stake is what fucks it up. So with proof of work, right? Like a Bitcoin, why can a Bitcoin survive a war? Right? It's not like the other coins are gonna survive. Some will, like Zen and XENM, and you know, I would also say like a Cardano or Polkadot. You know, even Pulse Chain probably gonna survive. Now, like if you are into VeChain, you might want to start recalibrating your bag. You're like in VeChain or some other ass like thing that no one really thinks about, like EOS or XLM. Those might be good things to maybe consolidate out of. But everything else that has a good community behind it, it should do well. And then I also think proof of work, anything will do well. So that's why proof of work is going to be the best way to find a 10,000x, because a lot of users now are going to flock to the least resistant crypto experience. The least is resistant. Now you would say like, hey, proof of work is super resistant because you need power, right? But realistically, that is a narrative that X1 chain has debunked. It's not that proof of work is not popular because people don't have the hardware. It's really just opportunity. If more people knew how to make a Bitcoin light node, they'd probably set it up if there was some sort of incentive to get bits, right? If there was a better incentive to get Dogecoin, people would probably mine it. But again, these coins have moved on to ASIC mining. So they're extremely hard to get, and they are also extremely easy to make if you can get the hardware to make them. So it's just like an ongoing yin and yang of the broke people want in, but they can't afford it, so they have to buy the coins and wait to buy hardware, you know, and then the rich people push hardware further away from the poor man so that you can never mine the Bitcoin, right? And that's all on purpose. That's why Bitcoin is significantly high. I think, yeah, this is lined up in market cap. And the number 2 is Doge, and it's at 8 cents. Now, the reason why Doge can never be like Bitcoin is because Doge has an infinite supply. It needs an offset factor, or it needs, I think inscriptions would be good for Doge, but then that still doesn't help Doge. Because if it has an infinite supply, that means it can have infinite inscriptions. So none of the inscriptions on Doge actually have value. Now, Litecoin, you would say, hey, Litecoin actually might have, you know, a good narrative. Granted, it is also ASIC mined now, but it is under $100. It does have inscriptions, and it has a limited coin or limited space, which might be desirable to someone who was looking to do inscriptions on Bitcoin, right? Now I'm talking about inscriptions because inscriptions are important to this proof of work conversation. Now, before 2023, we did not actually have programmable Bitcoin, and now proof of work essentially is programmable. But again, it's not fixing anything. It's just a new feature to add more bullshit to an already congested chain. All right. So Bitcoin is fire because it's like, yeah, it's the original, it's Satoshi's vision. It has first principles built into it. And it's literally the living breed. It's the living legend of first principles. There's a lot of other first principle concepts, but nothing as solid as a Bitcoin, because again, you're not following a person. You're following the code. And yeah, I mean, other things could say the same thing, but really Bitcoin had that core group of developers that were all expressing that value point where it's like, this is for everyone. You can set up a computer, you can mine it. What does it sound like? This is being developed amongst the community, and whoever really wants to participate can get a bunch of Bitcoins for nothing. Right? That's how Bitcoin started. Let's be honest. We can go deeper into how Bitcoin started. That's more technical. right? And that's probably where you'll start getting lost in the sauce. But Bitcoin essentially just started as a hedge against your electricity in your home. Because if you had compute and electricity, you made Bitcoins. Regardless of how many you made in 2013, you made them. And that's why, again, this sector is heavily slept on because it's really hard to get to it. But it's actually the easiest one to get. Now, that's why I say you insert XENblocks into this environment, and we solve so many problems that none of these other proof of work coins fucking solve, which instantly put us right above everybody next to Bitcoin. Now let's go through this. And let me show you why. Also, bro, I'm so fucking bullish on fucking Zen. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What is this? Let me make sure this isn't something important. What up, Dhoshland? Down, we're going up. Yeah, Dhoshland was making us laugh. You go so hard for Zen, bro. I got mad respect for you, Dhoshland. Like, you go hard, bro. That's facts. People need to get to your heavy promo level. Let's fucking do it. Yeah, I can't get people paying off high gas. They'll be trying to flip $10, paying $5 in fees. Yeah, we're gonna save them though with X1 chain. It's all coming together now. Okay, wait. I don't have it up. Let me see. Where's my? Okay. I got two of these. Which one's the real one? I think this is it. Yeah, this is the real one. So, literally, we'll let that load. I think it's still loading because it's cache. But so when you look at the proof of work world, there is going to be a Zen token here, right? Zen. What we're saying XENM stands for, yeah, Zen XENM. Oh yeah, Zen network miner. That's kind of what the name has taken on in the chat, the Zen network miner, because and I've seen that too on here. So I think it's very cryptic, but it's here, I'll tell you later. But it's literally in your face. So what I'm talking about is, like, if you go to the docs page, where we have all of the docs now, when you click on Zen Miner, it takes you straight to the GitHub. So that's cryptic, right? For someone who doesn't know, now they're going to see this and think it's a barrier. And that's perfect coming from the source, right? We actually want people to work to get here, because then by the time they get their XNM, they feel like they did something. Like, once you go through this right here, which is very simple, right? To code, I mean, this is just the CPU miner. So if you want to do GPU, it gets a little bit more expressive, and I guess we don't have that here, which is fine. Again, like, there's levels to this shit. So, like, if you find out about Zen Miner, we don't want you to find out about GPU just yet. You need to go and learn why this is actually perfect. Yeah, they say proof of work miner that's based on Argon 2 ID algorithm, which is both GPU and ASIC resistant. And then you go and learn about it, and you find out we have GPUs. That's pretty cool. Because again, you got to work for it, man. It shouldn't just be given to you, because that's where the value is not. And so knowing that this XNM is going to be the Zen network miner for all for all that don't know about Zen but like to mine, right? Now they have a coin, and it's in the proof of work system. And again, proof of work is, in my opinion, a better system than proof of stake, even though our overall system for X1 chain is going to be proof of stake. Okay, so it's very confusing, because you're probably like, crypto bro, what the fuck? Proof of stake is stupid, but X1 chain is staking, right? You got to grow up just a little bit if this is confusing you, because you need to comprehend the difference between both proof of work and proof of stake, and how both of those systems serve in their own arenas, right? And we're bringing them together to serve a purpose for our belief of the world's best crypto fucking blockchain that anybody's ever seen before. And I mean, there's gonna be other ones that come out as well, but this one's for the public. This one's for you, for your mama. Yeah, this is why we needed it set up this way. So when you have the proof of work, what it really does, again, is it creates ownership, because you need to own certain things to get the proof of work. When you get proof of stake, you can just go and buy it from a DEX, right? And that's actually, in my opinion, a design flaw in blockchain. I don't think users actually should be doing this anymore. And I do believe that's why we see such an aggressive spike in market cap for proof of work, because again, Bitcoin is all that is proof of work. There is actually no other reason to mine anything else. Right? If you're not mining Bitcoins or buying inscriptions, you're pretty much wasting time on like the next 10 years of actual crypto development. I do think a lot of people will stop trying to make their own crypto, because it's just not, it's not sustainable anymore. We have tons of cryptos. So if I'm an intelligent individual, like even myself, I would ask myself, why would I want to make another Ethereum? Like, even with a community, you know, it's just not the broadest, smartest, most intelligent thing to do. And I couldn't even be in 2028 asking myself, am I going to make the next Ethereum? You know, that doesn't sound right. So what does sound right, though, is consolidation of all these chains back into the hub, right? And they all be in their own little things. And it's just like, you know, they're just little shops. They're not mega corporations. They're all trying to be mega corp, but that's Ethereum and that's Bitcoin and BNB. So there are some mega corps in here, so don't sleep. I mean, BNB is definitely proving to be the protest coin of crypto. And that's, you can quote me, take it, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, this is a protest because it's not available in America. That's the only reason this shit is up. Like, if y'all had access to Coinbase, y'all totally would use it. Coinbase is hard. It has, and when you look at the way Coinbase is set up compared to Binance, your funds are actually safer in Coinbase. And that's again why America doesn't want to introduce Binance, because they can control Coinbase. So I'm still betting on Binance being huge as a protest, because the technology is not fair crypto. So if you're like Binance chain, you essentially like centralization. So you are not crypto. You are 100% phony. But I'm going to rock with you because you in my space, you know. Same with Cardano. Because the node structure over here isn't developed for mass adoption. That's exactly what we're learning right now about X1 chain. We want X1 to surpass all of these chains. Every single one of these. And we actually have a good opportunity to in the proof of stake world. And why I'm saying you need to get the proof of work coins, because that's essentially what we're turning into the proof of stake, right? Do you catch the drip yet? Do you catch the drip? Why you want proof of work over stake, bro? Ain't nobody gonna be over here, because they're all focused on what is today's world, which is how do we get better than Ethereum, right? But we've already discovered in XENM, that's not the problem. The problem is the consensus. It's on the consensus level. So it's actually like, you don't want to be like ETH. You want to be nothing like Ethereum, right? You actually want to be a mixture of like ETH and some of the really good ideas. So that's why, again, I do think Solana now delegated proof of stake is a really good consensus. If you've never really learned about these 4 consensus in crypto, man, let's get caught up a little bit before the stream ends. So proof of work, again, this is compute processing. So this is all based on computers talking to each other, and they send transactions through computer power. Proof of stake is node-based consensus. So people stake coins to a node, and then the network uses the stake coins to help facilitate transactions. And that's why proof of stake is faster than proof of work, because the coins are waiting for commands. Now, proof of stake is cool, but again, it's just an architecture level of success. So if I'm staking more than everyone else, then I rule the network, right? And that's why, again, it's like Binance Chain is cool, Cardano is cool, Polkadot is cool, but is it really crypto if they own all the top nodes? You know, Avalanche is cool, but is it really crypto if they own all the nodes? And in order for me to get an Avalanche, they want me to make a sub network and then bring in a bunch of people to be like, oh yeah, you did something for the network, right? So that doesn't make me feel like that's an open entry point. The same with all of these. Now you can kind of see it. Like Aptos is cool, but do you think you'll ever get a piece of Aptos? The graph is cool, but do you think you'll ever get a piece of the graph? Most of these blockchains too that are proof of stake, I mean, all of them are the same. Once you get to POS, everything's the same. So most of these, though, you're looking at around $100,000 to $50,000 to be part of the chain. That's why their market caps are so large, because a lot of the market cap is just stake. It is just belief. So a lot of these could go to zero if something were to come out to just like mind fuck everybody, to be like, yeah, why are we doing proof of stake anyways? You know, oh, for cheaper fees. You know, once it's a more intelligent conversation is happening in crypto, you know, it starts to make zero sense why you would even put your ETH in BNB outside of the concept of like, oh yeah, that might go up because it's a protest, you know. So delegated proof of stake. Now, what is delegated proof of stake? Basically, you in proof of stake, the only way you can become a node, or only way you can participate in the fee structure, is by being a node. And you need to have like for ETH, you need 32 ETH to be a node. And then if you can't get 32 ETH, Ethereum does not have delegated proof of stake, where I can take my Ethereum in their network, right? They don't have a smart contract in their fucking network. This is what we're learning in X1 chain, why it's so sick. But yeah, they don't have really a smart contract in their network to stake to a node, right? That's why they're not delegated proof of stake. They're just proof of stake. And the way they've developed the system for staking outside of Ethereum is by getting like a Lido. That's why Lido lives up here at number 8, because anyone who can't afford 32 Ethereum, they'll just buy this ETH, and it's like a token, like a placeholder token for Ethereum itself, right? And this one's kind of weird because it's like depegging from ETH. I just started noticing this shit too. Like it's starting to get it's getting a little bit off from the ETH. So I don't really know what this world looks like in the future, right? Because if a lot of people pull out of the staking contract very quickly, it could offset itself, or something could happen. You know, I've never really looked into how this staking liquidity is held up, because it's just a staking pool, right? So now, yeah, let's talk about delegated proof of stake. And delegated proof of stake is similar to X1 chain, where I can go and I can find a validator and I can stake my coins to their validator to help, 1, secure the network, and then 2, get some passive income based on a really good validator, right? So delegated proof of stake is actually, in my opinion, one of the most superior consensus, and it's the most community driven consensus, right? It's 100% community over here, because like, it's like me mining a bunch of XNM so I can make a node, and then if you want to join my team, you can go and just stake. Right now, you don't need a bunch of coins to feel like you own the network. You could just have your favorite streamer or your favorite person in the community, and you can go and stake on their node and know you're securing X1 chain, right? That's why Solana is so popular right now. Gigantic leap on the market cap here in delegated proof of stake between Solana and Tron. And Tron's been around, dude, for what, 2018, 17? It was one of the first ICOs. But Justin Sun owns all that shit. And then you can also see here, so here, the market cap is also gonna be part of people staking. So it also speaks numbers to the stakers. That means a lot of people are over here chilling, man. They're in Solana. They believe in Solana. They don't need to remove their coins. Price action is just people buying the coins. Now we have a better, now there's more good shit in X1 chain, we did model our voting system based on Solana. Jack did like that. He did like the way that their votes were happening, but what he did not like was how Solana is faking their transactions per second and by building in votes into the transactions. So there's not actually transactions happening. It's just people voting. Like, it's just nodes talking to each other and saying like, oh, this new thing came out. You see it? And then another node's like, yeah, I see it. You see it? And another node's like, yeah, I see it. You see it? And every time they say that, it's gossip. And that gossip is built into their transactions. So we saw this on the Soul Scan. Yeah, Jack pointed this shit out. It was pretty funny. He was like, hey, half of their blockchain is just gossip. And as you can see on X1 chain, we're currently in that debugging mode as we're debugging what it is to have a gossip network where people where people stake coins, and that can essentially get the validator more blocks. That's just one piece of the puzzle, right? Because it's like proof of stake. So like if you have a lot of coins on your node, it could be chosen a lot to validate transactions. But we have a speed network as well. So that's why it's like Solana did it right, but they did it wrong. What they did right was they have a speed network, and they have the voting system where top participants can mine the most. And then people who can't afford, the amount of Sol or a smart computer can stake to their favorite validator, and they can move forward. All of that shit is really, really, really cool. But again, where they dropped the ball was by making sure their nodes, or like there's like a lot of master nodes, and then that's why Solana's chain goes down, because they've got their whole node structure like based on like a bunch of master nodes. We're similar right now. That's what I'm feeling, but we're trying to get to this environment where it's not just like 1, 2, 3 that's like is the supercomputer, right? We want to have 500 supercomputers on here. We want validators that everybody has a supercomputer, and that's what Solana did right. That is unfortunate that they don't include all their supercomputers. So you need a super type computer to be a Solana validator, but it seems like if one node goes down, the whole network goes down, and we don't really have that issue right now in X1 chain, because again, we're focused on having node gossip being normal on chain, where nodes are talking and it's not disrupting the gas of the whole network. And most of these updates that we're seeing here from the team, most of these updates like are based on the nodes like having a lot of extra shit that they don't need, because probably it was like good for marketing. Like if you boost up all these transactions, these VCs will be like, wow, your blockchain is so robust, but when you do it like an X1 chain, where we're not doing it for VC funds, one, and then we're not doing it to make a bunch of money. We're actually doing it for a different approach to blockchain. You can start to discover and see these types of things. So I think this is it right here, right? Or I can see it. Oh, nah. Oh, here it is. So their transactions per second. You can see here that most of their transactions are votes. 65%. They're all votes. They're all just nodes talking to each other. To kind of put this into perspective, like here, some people have shared their screenshots. So like when we're looking at this, for instance, see if this is a good photo. I don't have it on here, so I can't look at it, unfortunately. But you see how like this one says like new DAG summary, new DAG summary, new DAG summary. New event emitted. So the new event emitted is when your actual node confirms or validates a block. So up until this block, right, there's all these summaries of other people blocking. So there's one block there, summary. Then their block, summary. So all those little summary things is what you see here, labeled as votes, because it's just people making sure that the things are good. Then the pink here is actual people sending like transactions. So yeah, Solana, they did it right, but they did it wrong. And this right here is another thing to poke the bear when people start asking, well, how is X1 better than Solana? It's like, oh, we actually have real TPS. We focused on making sure that this chain doesn't have disguised TPS because it's so public that people should probably know. You can think of it as like a new standard of crypto where it's like, oh, I'm going to use X1 chain because it's so robust, it can bring this idea to life. And that's why, again, it goes back to this title here. Why is proof of work better than proof of stake? Once you go, it's like once you go into proof of stake, you have to start being very technical because the node is important. So in X1, we've actually separated the technical side and then the work side, right? Usually the work is built into the tech, and or in a proof of stake world, it does seem that VCs tend to drop the work to developers and then they stake it, right? You very rarely see a chain come out where people are making the coins and selling them to the VCs. Okay, so proof of work will always harness that recklessness of why are you wasting energy, and that disruption will make it the most fair out of everything. So you'll probably have more opportunity mining XNM going into this future than actually mining Zen. So that's my free alpha for 2024. Hopefully you take it with a grain of salt. You know, I got my regs here. Big ups to all of y'all. Thank you guys for being here with me. But yeah, this is why, again, I've switched and pivoted to XNM mining only. I've actually, I'm waiting for my Zen mints, which all come out in March. So I guess this is a little bit of a strategy of how I'm articulating X1 now. Most of my Zen mints come out in the next 6 months. I'll probably get those and then figure out, you know, whether or not I should burn them. I'll probably burn them for the squad just so I can have fun. But really where I'm at with it is I'm focused on building this like supernova. Right, that's what I'm calling the X1 node that's intaking XN from all layers. Like wherever you can get XN is how you're gonna do this, and then you're gonna automatically stake it to the node, and you're gonna play longevity based on network staking rather than doing traditional DeFi, which is betting on a community. Like you can take this X1 node, you can move all these fucking photos around, you can put anything here. That's what's so crazy about this. This is a system for anyone to try. The thing is how well can it be executed? And I honestly believe there will not be anything there will not be anything better executed than X1 by Genesis. And then once it's out, who cares, you know? Then somebody else will fork it. Where I'm at with it really then is I think this will actually become one of the most popular ways to try to develop value. So like even myself, that's why I was saying earlier, like if I was to make a blockchain, would I make a blockchain like Binance, or would I try to build a blockchain like Xenium, right? Like XNM, where I can set up a miner, let people mine XNM and Superblocks, and then just add my own coin. And now we're securing X1 chain, and I can create a sub chain using proof of work. Now people can come to my sub chain, turn their XNM into the proof of work coin, stake it into the system, and we're building a better solid foundation rather than having VCs come in, bring in money that they want to siphon out, YouTubers coming in, right? Some of these charts would be fucked. It'd just be YouTubers and VCs. That's it. That's the roadmap. So I think this is the fairest way to release a blockchain. And I think it's the most powerful way to make a statement in the space. I don't think anyone else is going to be able to top this. And again, I'm not saying I don't believe in Zen anymore. I'm just saying I see the greater picture. And Zen is just for onboarding, right? It's just a tool for onboarding. It could see the highest gains possible, but it's not the coin that you're going to use to build X1 chain. I'm just going to keep it a buck. People are going to be using XNM to build this chain. They're going to be swapping XENM for XN. Then they'll probably be using XN to get more Zen, to get more VMPX until this is out the picture. Right? 2 of these things will exit the picture, which will be VMPX and the airdrop, the community airdrop. VMPX after 3 years will no longer be able to be swapped for XN. And then the community airdrop is Genesis related only. So once X1 chain is live, there won't be another community airdrop. So it's all work up until live mainnet. So 2 of these, again, they will fall off, but then there will always be the proof of stake Zen token and the proof of work XENM token creating and securing this new blockchain. I didn't even talk about inscriptions yet, man. It goes on and on and on. But yeah, make sure you follow my channel if you want to stay hip to this fucking shit, because I'm going to keep talking about it until the wheels fall off. Damn it. Shout out to Obi-Wan. Let's fucking hash. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Do it for the fairness and money will come. We've learned with BTC. Man, we learned with a lot, man. If you do it fair, again, it's the opportunity cost that people will capitalize on. But the fairness, right? The disruption of the fairness is where people will lack, and an opportunist will seize. So you got to stay opportunist with it. X1 Zen gonna be fun, dude. X1 Zen is gonna be fucking crazy, dude. It's gonna be crazy. See, like every other Zen, I think, but that's what I think. My thought is on some Hellmaker piece of hopium. This is Hellmaker hopium, guys. So do not listen to me or take this serious, because I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. This is some Hellmaker shit. But now that you see how the system is working, don't you also believe that Zen should reach a threshold of price? Like it should see a price that it holds. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't think I need to go hard on Zen. I think I just need to mint it. I don't need to buy it. I don't need to focus on it. I just need it to do its thing. And when it's done doing its thing, as long as I'm minting, I'm good, you know? That's the best part about Zen. As long as you're minting, you're going to be good. Right? Now, XENM is a daily activity. That's why it's like, yo, if you want to feed... Oh, I didn't even show this shit. Squirt. You want to feed your XENM, or you want to feed your crypto addiction, you probably should be mining XENblocks, because, again, you can spend $20 in fiat money and mine for a whole day and come back the next day and you've got coins. You've got coins, right? It's not like anything else. Now, you could do that with Zen, but, again, Zen is designed for 8 years. So if you're mining for 1 day, you're like taking away from the design of the project, right? It's really not designed for you to not mint a max. And that's why, again, I have this Hellmaker hopium concept where it's like, well, what does it look like when everyone's max minting and all of the supply is bought off the market, and everyone is just trading liquid Zen back and forth? So liquid Zen would be like anything coming off the market, from staking, back into like any Zen that's just like randomly reappearing. And this is also valid thesis now, because people are forgetting to mint. So the further we go down the road where people are not minting Zen, the more valuable minting Zen will become. So never let that shit go, because people have already slowed down. They're going to pick it up and then they're going to burn. And then they're going to be exhausted from burning. You know, and then the system goes. That's why, again, I do believe if you're in Zen, this is your alley-oop to learn how to make a blockchain so that you can have a X1 node. Fuck all the other nodes. This is the only one you're going to need. So much work has gone into making this little specific node that I honestly think this is the only one you're going to need in crypto going forward. Like we're one Bitcoin node away from this chart blowing the fuck up. Or an ETH node, but I don't know why you would want to run an ETH node. I think us installing a Bitcoin node in the X1 chain would be the smartest move. That'd bring over so many proof of work people. They'd be like, oh shit, you mean if I turn on the X1 node, it hashes Bitcoins? It's like, yeah. And then like we make like a sub network or something on X1 chain where people are using VMPX. I mean, it's already happening, right? Yeah, people are using VMPX and there's Bitcoins, and we need to have we need the registry of Bitcoin in our node so that it's easier for devs to dev on, right? And that's why I'm like, man, how can we really take the crypto node to the next level? Because right now it's stagnant. Crypto nodes are fucking boring, bro. Stake your Cardano, the end. Stake your Polkadot, the end. Like, what the fuck? like, this is boring as shit. Like, you know, it's gonna be fun though. It's gonna be really, really fun, bruh. If it's out and I need contract addresses and tickers ASAP, please. Nah, it's not. I mean, it's out, or XNM won't be purchasable until X1 chain's live. So that's why I'm saying the people who are gonna get XN first are gonna be XNM people. It's not gonna be Zen people, because you're not gonna get your XN tokens until the community airdrop or until the Genesis drop, when everybody's wallet populates with XN from all of their participation. But I'll be swapping my XNM for XN on X1 to stake to my node. So yeah, and that's why I was like, yo, this is fire. The real Genesis team is Team XNM. It's unfortunate it's not Zen, but yeah, it's another heartbreaker in the story of why you should continue to educate yourself. Don't stop, man. Do not stop educating yourself, right? And then when you get discouraged, just fight through that shit. Like, you're a grown up. I mean, maybe you're not a grown up. Maybe you're a little teenager or something. I don't know. But you're a person on this world that can manipulate. You can walk up to a tree. You can pull a leaf. It's actually more powerful than people perceive it. You know, I think of friends that I've lost in the past and like how they cannot do that. It's like something super duper simple, but it's actually very impactful to think like, you can go and manipulate right now, bro. Like, you don't have to wait. You're alive. I mean, you know, seize opportunity, continue to grow. And again, that's why I have taken this pill and swallowed Zen as more of a edge than anything else. It's not that I've lost any money, because I never had money. I'm in crypto. What the fuck? If I had money, I'd be a fucking not here shit. Right? So again, I don't want to label Zen as what made me broke. I showed up broke. This didn't make me broker. We was broke already. And I think that's the thing that people need to grow up on with Zen, is that it never made you broke. It actually made you rich in knowledge. But if you stay with a broke mentality, you'll probably never comprehend that part. My little fits bits. But yeah, off of the motherfucking too deep for conversation. What happens when it's 2,000 subs, bro? I don't know, dude. I haven't been able to get to 2,000 subs. I've been just dancing on 19.5 for like a month now. I think it's because I'm streaming on YouTube or Twitter now. So I think I'm separating my audience, and I'm okay with that. Like, honestly, I don't make videos right now to be YouTube famous. I realistically am making this so that I have my vibe in the internet, so y'all know there's someone else that thinks like me. I don't really care about what anybody else is saying. Like, it's like I like peek in on everybody just to be like, what are they on? But y'all help me get to 2,000 followers. Everyone's gonna be horny AF for XN. Everyone's gonna want some. Yeah, this could be the butterfly effect, Rolando. VMPX bridge is going away. Is VMPX bridge going away? What up, B minor? Nah. VMPX bridge. That's why I was saying it makes more sense for the X1 node to figure out a way to compress the Bitcoin node and put it inside of itself. Or for one of us to start trying to think about, is that fucking possible? And it would help VMPX. It would help BRC20s. It would actually help that bridge that they're building, because that's the only reason you need a bridge. You need somewhere to harness the Bitcoin information, so that when it's going and relaying in between the internet, there's a node that's attached to the Bitcoin mainnet that can confirm these transactions. That's why these layer 2s are coming out now for Bitcoin. They're just roll-ups, ZK roll-ups back to Bitcoin. And yeah, we've already said we're gonna have that next one chain, and VMPX is the champion coin of that bridge. Bro, send us a link to this X1 thing. Send us a link. Oh yeah, to this the supernova. Here, can I share this? Can I share this where none of y'all motherfuckers can touch it and shit? They can view. All right. For the homies. Screenshot it. But yeah, honestly, I think if you follow this strategy, you're going to have the most XN. The most. And then you could think about, because where it would be the passive income you're getting off of the node. And that's why I'm 100% sold now that we are moving into this phase. I talked about it earlier, but I didn't really put emphasis on it. Page 11 on the white paper, the cause of it all. The crypto world has come a long way since Timothy May, 1988, wrote the crypto manifesto, whatever the fuck. Link there. In 2008, Satoshi wrote the Bitcoin white paper. Yeah, yada yada yada. But just like the internet has clustered into a centralization by tech giants, we can see the trend within DLTs not escaping human nature of corruption and deceit. We see governments wanting to introduce their own version, so-called CBDCs. We see corporations claiming to be pro-crypto, but using every way possible to lure you into giving up your keys, and doing so violating the true first principles of crypto, both creating filter bubbles of innovation. The L1 narrative emerges where multiple systems are competing to become the most fundamental and interoperable. Although they are local maximalist convictions, there is no widespread consensus as such to which system that ultimately will prevail. And as long as that is the case, the necessary to go back to the roots of first principles is inevitable. It's in the white paper, guys. Page 11. It's right here. They tell you why X1 needs to exist. Zen spawned for X1. But it needed, none of y'all needed to know in the white paper, like, oh, we spawning this shit so we can test out all these blockchains. So I think this is one of the best white papers built in crypto. Super simple, not technical, very easy to read. And again, we seem to be moving down the white paper, past staking now, you know, past like why it's here, past the technology. So we really are at the page 11, the cause of it all. Again, because I'm with the white paper. I am under the belief that corporations are capping. The fuck? You can go anywhere, they're capping, bro. PLX is going to the moon now. I don't know about that. Man, I am like the biggest post-chain hater, but it's because I have no skin in the game. So I do hope post-chain is successful, but I would argue that it's not going to be as successful as X1 chain because of the Nakamoto consensus that it harnesses inside of its blockchain. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, that's probably what they should have not done. Post-chain should have not forked Ethereum. Yeah, that was a bad idea. That shit killed it. Like as soon as it's like if like right now, if I could time travel back to 2020, 21 and tell everybody this should just go be a fork. It's gonna have Nakamoto consensus in the middle of it, and gas fee's still gonna be high if people show up. Fuck. Don't give away $1 billion. Yeah, actually, yeah, if I could time travel, that's where I would time travel to. That's why you know time traveling ain't real, because then nobody come to save us. The fuck? I didn't see no quantum time traveler show up to tell us that Richard Hart was about to drop the banger. That means things are about to get juicy. But yeah, I mean, big ups to everybody. Big ups to your baggers. So I'm not trying to shit on them. This is why I'm pro X1 though, and everything else doesn't matter. Like my vision now, and why I would say everything doesn't matter. Here's a reference point of how I'm trying to develop. I think that the internet should be moving away from server-based communication. So if you don't know how the internet works, it's called TVC. Most of the internet works off of this type of protocol. I've talked about this before on my channel. Well, we're like, again, if you follow crypto, bro, you get deep. All right, you don't fucking scrape level, or you don't, what do you call it? We don't just like scrape the level or the top. We actually get deep, and this is why again, I'm bullish on X1 chain over any other chain, because here's that's what it was. So Quantum Cats, did they drop? Anybody looking at that right now? Let's look at this. So Quantum Cats were supposed to come out yesterday, but it flopped. Right? It's not that the cat flopped, the internet flopped. Right? Oh wow, they changed it again. Mint date February 1st. Wow. The internet flopped. All this speculation for these stupid ass Quantum Cats, and they still can't deliver them because it's on fucking Web 2. I had tweeted this like earlier today, because I think people are fucking confused. I'm sorry, excuse my French, but this world is getting so fucked. Yeah, you guys are getting fucked. If you don't, man, I can't save everybody. Why do I do this right here? You can't be Web 3 on Web 2 servers. It makes no sense. Only one person like this. I think it's Rolando. But yeah, so like Quantum Cats, it's a Bitcoin experience. But what's wrong with Quantum Cats? Right? Let's dissect this real quick, and why X1 chain is going to bring a new thing to life that I've been channeling in my brain. And it's almost there. Quantum Cats is funny. It's like a play too on like Git, right? And if you know about Git is created by the creator of Linux. So that's why, again, all of this leads back to GNU, and again, the Timothy thing in the white paper. Everything is leading back to 1988, 1982, 1969, when the internet was built. We've been on this fucking thing for a while. So a lot of people, like, again, this is using elements of the original to bring forth a new idea. But what's wrong with this bitch? They can't get the fucking mint out because the mint is happening on layer or on Web 2 servers. And this is why I do not believe we are in the end of development of the internet. We are in the midst of it. Right now, our internet is actually based on what's called TPC. Right? TPC is a great protocol that allows things to find things, right? So this is you are in the internet, and then you send out a signal, and then it goes to TCP, and then TCP talks to all this other things to get to the HTTP, right? Server-based concepts. It retrieves the data, and it comes back to your computer, right? It looks something like this. Actually, a really great thing, right? You send the thing, it goes, all right, I'm in doing ding 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 ding, right? And it's looking for the next side. Now, what we have going on in the new world, right, and why people like using Google Chrome. So Google Chrome has already introduced this, which is quick. It's a different type of internet data system, similar to TCP, TLS, but it's much faster because it doesn't use, like, think of it as like highways too. Like if I'm on a highway and it's 6 lanes, but I'm in a car that will only go 2 lanes because it's programmed to only do 2 lanes, right? It's going to move much slower than a car that's programmed to be like, oh, I want to go fast. That's lane 6. That's what Quick is an upgrade of for TCP. It limits the amount of how many's the system needs to query in order for it to sync, right? Sync, attack. Hello, server, right? We've progressed past this, and we're in this new world. But not a lot of the internet clients are actually taking advantage of Quick, and it's been now noted that like it might be smarter in blockchain. So in our blockchain X1 chain, we actually have the Quick style of data elaboration back to the internet, and I think that this is going to be great for our inscriptions, because now essentially, potentially, X1 chain could be a browser similar to Google. Like, you don't know that. I mean, we don't see the Google servers, but when you go to Google, you're on their server. Essentially, you're on their blockchain, right? And I had made a joke. I was like, yo, what if someone just like made a project based on Zen, or you hold some Zen and they make a web browser just to say, fuck the world. No ads on this web browser. You got to hold Zen. You know, maybe you get, maybe it does Brave better, and you actually do get airdrops for using it. So, and the reason why we could do this is because, like, how I want to search hello world here. Oopsies. This right here, this results, that is the internet. That's the internet. Right? And we want our transactions to be that fast. So in order to compete with Google, you are going to need a top of the line blockchain. And what I'm trying to basically get at is, what does the world look like when a JSON file rules the internet? JSON. I love this file format now that I understand inscriptions. Makes everything else look like, it almost makes it look like we're getting ready to go backwards, where syntaxes are going to start creating dev libraries for previous syntaxes that have better community exception. Like Python is one of those. Like, a lot of people want to create a lot of different things, but everyone falls back to Python because they go, oh, no, that has the best directory for everything. Look at that. A JSON object is very similar to a Python directory. A JSON array is very similar to a Python list. Yeah, JSONs is, that's when you're looking at a this is how you know we're on the internet right now with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is trying to be on the internet, but again, it has Nakamoto consensus like built into the middle of it, so it's gonna fuck it forever. Unfortunately. Maybe one day it won't, but, and that's layer 2s. Layer 2s would be built on Bitcoin to give you a fucking moon jump over, right? So like, for instance, this right here, this BRC20 transfer that I have set up for my BMP whenever I'm ready to sell it, this is a JSON file. That's it. That's all the inscription is. So fucking shit has been unlocked, man. And again, this quantum, the release here, they could actually use the release as a way to push their layer 2. Like, hey, do you guys remember how shitty it was to the release of Quantum Cats? It's pretty bad, huh? That's because we were doing it on Web 2 servers, and the servers kept crashing because we didn't have the most elite server set up, and we had to spend you know, like $10,000 to get these elite servers, but then we had to wait 3 days for, you know, the elite servers to come on. And so on, man. Guys, PID is in price discovery. Be spoken. Do you hear yourself while I'm spitting all these technical facts, man? I guess, whatever, man. It is what everybody wants it to be. Either you're paying attention to the price or you're paying attention to the source. Ethereum is dying and trying to reinvent itself, like Polkadot and IBC, Cosmos, Postchain, and L2s are all in trouble. Yeah, everything is trying to reinvent itself because of what happened on Bitcoin. But again, the Bitcoin thing wears off once you realize how slow it is. Like, I sent the Bitcoin transactions today. That motherfucker took like 60 minutes, bro. I was like, damn. I mean, but I had time, right? Bitcoin gives you the ability to be like, oh, I got time today. But yeah, that's not mass adoption. So yeah, we're gonna see layer 2s on Bitcoin because Bitcoin cannot get better. Bitcoin is nothing more than a household name. It's a good way to onboard people, and that's the only reason I'm behind Bitcoin, is because it helps the end. Other than that, fuck Bitcoin, bro. X1 chain. I'm very interested on how X1 can be an explorer for, like Google. Well, you got to think of it this way. We wouldn't be like Google. Something that so here's the thing that played into my brain. I'll give a free nugget for the homies. So it's like, how will we make the internet better? And I think of like MySpace. That's why yesterday I had tweeted, if you follow me on X, I made a funny tweet. where I was like, I'm gonna create MySpace on X1 chain. I can't find it right now. Let's see if it's still here. Sometimes I be thinking my tweets be getting deleted, bro. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. Stop tweeting shit. Yeah, right here. I was like, watch me re-release MySpace on X1. So MySpace is a great study point in HTML, CSS history. I would say, as someone who grew up as a child in this era, this had the biggest impact on my computer history. Next to LimeWire, I would say MySpace was hands down what brought me into this what pulled me into the computer screen. And the reason why is because what MySpace had was, let's see if there's any images of it. Kind of. Look at this Kim Kardashian. This is funny. Let's take a blast from the past. Now, MySpace did internet really well with HTML. A lot of people were trying to make social medias, but what they could not figure out was the layout. So all this guy Tom did realistically was just give you the best layout for social. And then what Tom did was he used the internet to give you these layouts, right? Insert Jack Levin, who is on record saying that he had 30% of the traffic from MySpace on his image stack, you know? So why? And then you have to ask yourself, well, why was Image Shack a big impact in MySpace's success, right? And what was MySpace? MySpace was a place for you to post photos of you and your friends hanging out. Yeah, literally a place for friends. And when you want to tell your other friends, yo, I'm hanging with friends, what do you have to do? You have to upload the photos. So the only way to tell your friends, hey, I'm hanging with other friends, is to upload photos. And then, of course, we had the HTML special things. But then you had people who were actually putting photos. Oh, yeah, here's a special one. Damn, look at this one. I remember doing this type of shit because this is what I was doing in MySpace when I was around it as a kid. I learned how to make layouts using Photoshop. And I would go to like middle school. I was like in middle school when MySpace was cracking. I would go to like super like, cause I lived in the hood, so like I was a smart hood kid, and there was gangsters that were like, yo, I need a sick ass MySpace, like MySpace music is blowing up and I need like a cooler layout, like I can't just be looking like everyone else. So what I used to do was I learned how to do HTML and make websites, and then put the photos using HTML in the right spaces, and I would like sell like I would like sell these templates to people in my middle school. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I just was hip to the game. And what made me hip was I knew where to put the photos. Everyone would be like, hey, my real name's Brandon. So like everybody, yo, Brandon, like where did you get that? Like, how'd you get that? Like, email me an ad button concept going on over here. And then I was like, oh, I'd uploaded a photo bucket, and then I'd, wire it so that you could click a button and it would drive you to a new zone. And that customization is what really unlocked MySpace. Being able to customize it and like have something that's not like everyone else, but is like everyone else, right? And the roadblock for MySpace was uploading the content. Once people learned how to upload the content, MySpace took the fuck off. Jack Levin seen 30% of the traffic, right? And that's kind of why, again, MySpace didn't do anything different than anyone else. All MySpace did was offer a better UX experience to something that already exists. It looks ugly as fuck right now, but I mean, not really. Honestly, I love this UX look. These new UXs they be driving my head insane, dude. I don't even want to go look at a new UX, but classic 2000s UX is so tight. Just like so simple. But yeah, so like where I'm at with X1 chain, to kind of bring this all in, X1 chain is going to have the storage capabilities and the network speeds to send back and forth files on blockchain. So potentially we could maybe see websites coming out of X1 chain using X1 as like the harness of the data. So then that way it's like, hey, how about here's like another thing to kind of put into perspective. I posted this. If you follow Clout, because I've been diving deep on the recursions Because if you know, you know. Here, let me go to my history because I just watched it. Right here. So I watched this tutorial on recursions, and just kind of like, this is all starting to look like the early 2000s, but yet we're using blockchain to harness the information instead of me going and telling the hood people like, oh, I use Photoshop, or I mean, I use PhotoBucket to host the images. I use MediaFire to host the images. I mean, I've always been, if you've been following me, you know for a fact that I always talk about data and how that could be the catalyst for crypto. Nothing else is going to be the catalyst. It's going to be people storing content on the blockchain and understanding, wow, this is a place for me to post my friendships. It's a place for me to flex and show other people in the world what I'm doing today. And again, it has more value because it's cooler to be able to show, you know, your Bitcoin thing or whatever the fuck, you know. This is a really good tutorial. Here, I'll drop this here, but this shows you how Bitcoin recursions work and how it basically is bringing on-chain data to websites. And that's what we need. We actually need to get out of the original, right? MySpace broke barriers so that we could run miles, because all they did was take the internet and put it in one spot. Because now you can go and get as much content, as many URLs as you want. You can put it in one place. Who knows what the fuck you're trying to express, but you can do it, you know. And that's why MySpace died. Here, let's look at MySpace and its formats. 2009 is when MySpace died. Yeah, this MySpace was the worst one. Gosh. And you can kind of do some research on this. I would almost say leaving the flat space and going to the 2009 iPhone era of like 3D graphics. Gosh, that was such a horrible time in UX. Sometimes it's cool to revisit it and be like, yo, 2009 was such an awkward time on the internet because everything was so bubbly. But it was a special time. Yeah, 2012 we get back to flat. 2017 full flat. And what's it look like today? Like 2017. Who gives a fuck about MySpace? Notice how MySpace can only sell entertainment now. MySpace went within 20 years. MySpace went from being entertainment for human beings showing friends what they're doing to being an only VC outlet to potentially put Charlie XCX on another website. Sad. That's why they bailed. They're like, yo, this shit done. This shit is over. But yeah, so that's why I want you to do that homework, man. Go home or wherever you are. Ask yourself, like, what is your blockchain really bringing to the space? Like, is it going to be something that's grabbing data and bringing it to the masses, or is it just something where people are literally throwing shit coins back and forth and you're just, I'm no offense, be smoke, but you kind of pulled, you pointed yourself out here, but it's like, are you still talking about like things that really is not helping tomorrow? Because tomorrow you can say the same thing, P.o.P is going up. The next day you could say the same thing, P.o.P is going up. The next day you could be like, P.o.P is going down. You know, but like, it's like when we have a conversation and we're just trying to be a little bit more intellectual on the expansion of ideas, you know, how far can we drive P.o.P is going up and down, right? I could talk about Zen forever because I'm coming from a source. I'm not coming from just like, I believe in this shit. It's like, this is like, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that, look at all of this shit. Like, I got a billion tabs up right now. Look at all these tabs. Oh, you can't see them. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. That's right, actually. I protect myself for myself. Oh, do you guys see my motherfucking tabs? Man, shout out to Yoshland. It's a 333 auction. Still in the X1 paper. Maybe it will happen. I think a 333 auction will kind of happen. I just don't know if it'll be 300 days. We'll see what happens. It's great marketing. We'll see what happens. But that means that it would be concentrated marketing on Zen.network. And again, that's why I say, like, I don't think, or I said this to someone else, so y'all getting some alpha. But yeah, I don't think all burners will be smart. I think you're going to be really specific about your XN providing. If you're gonna stay in the Zen world, because if you're only gonna use Zen to get to XN, you're gonna need to make sure you're burning with the right parties so they don't mismanage your burn. And I believe with burning coming to Zen.network, this will be the one ultimate portal where people come and burn through here. So I think spinoffs of this are something we can see in the future. Once this comes into an idea, like it'd be cool to see DBZen integrate this burn area into their network. That would be fire. Maybe that's like what we could do. Maybe we use the XenFT burn as like a bridge to a XEN provider for people who don't know about that XEN provider. Right? They just on Zen.network, like they don't know DBZen exists. And that sounds like a really good way to keep the fairness. Like let developers dev on all these buttons. Right? I'm still curious to what the ticker one is. We still haven't gotten any info on that, but that could be just like new coins creation. But we've gotten so far from just like we create new coins to like we're getting ready to create new internet that yeah, I'm still very curious to like what this can even be. But we'll see if we get the 333, man, and it stays around for a long time. We have to build it. We have to build our own world on X1. Everything, dude. We're gonna have everything on X1 chain. How many XN tokens you own, bro? I don't actually know yet. I did hit 132,000 XNM today, so I for sure have my XN. If I don't have enough for an XN node right now, then no one has enough. It's like if I need 5 times more XNM since Genesis to get my node, no one's getting a node. So I think I'm in a good place with that. Clay says XenTube. It's possible. It's very possible. Ayo, peace out, Dank man. Have a good one. But yeah, it's very possible to have a XenTube. The question that I would have raised to anyone who wants to develop any sort of media streaming on the blockchain, I would really love you to articulate to me why you feel like we need that. Like we have tons of communication out there. Why do we need to clog up the blockchain with streaming? I think we need another blockchain for streaming, but we do need a harness block. We need a data horror blockchain that's the horror of it all, you know. And that's why I like it about X1 chain. It looks like it wants to be the hoarder of data, and potentially other things spawn. So like, let's say you do want to make XenTube, it would be like you could make it, and then if you're turning your servers online, you would want to bring in the proof of work miners so that they can help make some yield off of your streaming service. That's kind of like how you would try to articulate this in a business fashion for that idea. Because after, you know, because we're always going to come to that question, like, well, why do I need to host streaming? Like, they're just going to be streaming bullshit, you know? So it's like, that isn't worth my time. But if we invented a blockchain that incentivizes streamers and node providers at the same time, beauty. Fucking beautiful. X1 is crypto Disneyland. It really is going to be crypto Disneyland. I've had so many people who are going to show up, and then they're just going to be blown away with what they can potentially do with the technology, right? And again, like, we are trying this now on Bitcoin, and I just cannot get 100% behind it, because again, they're running into Web 2 blocks, and those Web 2 roadblocks, that makes me feel like that's not the future. But I'm rooting for them. Oh, okay. So I got a little bit more XNM. I'm mining my ass off right now. My miners are roaring. They're roaring. Yeah, I'm almost burned through my $50 from yesterday. Roar. We're going to keep it going, though. Because I'm not going to stop, man. I can't stop mining now. Shit. I don't think I have enough. No commercials on XenTube. Now, we got to have built-in commercials. What I would say, it would just be no mediocrity. So, like, it would be like, or what you would want to do, here's another free game thing for anyone that wants to try to strategize something that you really like. You need to think about how you can disrupt the other world, right? And disrupting the other world with commercials would actually be stealing ad revenue. But in order to steal ad revenue, we're going to need enough users to be able to antagonize ad producers to be like, no, we need to be over there on X1. We need to be on XenTube. They got crazy traffic, right? So that's why I keep going back. Everything is going to be incentivized based, but it's going to be fair game, where if you want to be on our platform, you're going to be looking for incentive, And whoever is going to deliver it to you, they probably are going to catch you in a fucking trap where now you have to buy them out. It's going to be like that, yo. It's going to be like, damn, that's a superior product. I'm just going to have to buy that. Like, wow. Right? I was telling somebody in our camp, I was like, who's to say that the next MP3 or like the next MOV file for crypto doesn't come out of a blockchain striding for that? Because we are the people who would be weird enough to like try a new file format to be like, oh, this is compressed amazingly, like it's got the best quality ever, and you can fit in the blockchain, man. Hopefully I'm speaking this shit into the future, man. But that's what the future holds for y'all. Just bruh store, just a bruh in store, possibly. Dink, you planning on coming through to Montana any soon? Ask Clay. I think he just dipped out. But yo, man, I'm also going to dip out right now. Thank you guys. It's been almost 2 hours. As usually I don't stream this long, but I'm feeling good this week. I feel like X1 is on its way. But all y'all have a safe one out there. We'll be back tomorrow talking that Zen world, see if anything changes. Until then, stay Zen. Peace.